72 goes down low. The 79 gets caught up in it just at the very end. The 67 though of Nathan Stanley makes it on through free and clear. He, Paul Ferdiani, and Larry Dickerson having a drag race down in the for one last attack, getting underneath him, not quite able to make it stick, having to lift once again. Oh, into exit of turn number 4, down onto the front straightaway here. Who's going to win it with the drag race? It's going to be Timothy Pope. First 3 and 4, 751 with a hefty lead here, about a half a car length as the one gets up into the wall with a run down. 200 feet. It's going to be a close one across the line. Garrett Welsh made it 3 wide on the far outside lane, picking up spots left and right here as everybody fighting for every single spot we go. Coming across the line, white flag. So here we go, final lap. Hello and welcome everybody to this Davidson Builder 180 coming at you live from Kansas Speedway here with the NTRL Cup Series as we enter in the playoffs. So 10 drivers have made it on through, but that's okay. There's still some cash prize money up for grabs for people not involved in the playoffs either, so hopefully people still come on out. But either way, we have a great show here as it is a night race under the lights here amidst the open fields here in the plains. Man, we are not gonna be seeing no little dogs named Toto as this tornado of a series heads on through here tonight. So let's get things all started on off with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, these great races wouldn't be able to be brought to you without some fantastic partners and sponsors, such as ButtKicker. Make sure you get the most out of your sim experience and feel the rumble under your seat with a ButtKicker unit, as well as a big thank you to JP Designs and 3D Prints. Be sure to go check them out for some iRacing paint schemes, as well as some button boxes and 3D printing, as well as a big thank you to AdminBoxx as well, the premier button box solution for race control admins. Be sure to order your AdminBoxx here today. Of course, a big thank you to Davidson Builders, Track Bar Media as well, creators of that fantastic new promo / intro They do a great job over there with real life and sim life photography and videography, so be sure to go check them on out. TrekDogsRacing.com, the premier merchandising supplier for the NTRL. Be sure to order your hats, t-shirts, mugs, tumblers, sweatshirts, even they got jerseys up there now, so be sure to head on over to TrekDogsRacing.com as it is the holiday season and get your racer or fan of a racer some NTRL gear, as well as big thank you to SimGearCentral.com. Some of the best button boxes out there with flips, dials, turn knobs, switches, anything you can think of, all at the reach of your fingers. So be sure to go check them on out and mention that AAA and NTRL sent you on over there and get 10% off your next order. As always, I am Alan Brown, and Mr. English is AWOL here tonight, which means we get to replace him with another idiot friend of ours, Mr. Greg Klein, joining us here for the first time watching these NTRL racers drive around here. And Greg, I think we got a pretty good one here tonight. Kansas, it's gonna be a pretty fun night.
Kansas is a fun track, a little different with the progressive banking. I mean, you see probably early in the runs, these guys will probably running a low line, but as those tires wear, you'll see them go up high, try to get that extra banking. I'm looking forward to this. I haven't been able to, broadcast with you guys for a while, so it should be a fun night, and I'm really excited to get this started.
Absolutely. Is down there on pit road is Mr. Adam Turner, all ready for the fights, ready to happen. As Adam, we're now into playoff time. This is the first race in these kind of run for that championship here tonight. And you know what that means? That means tempers start to flare, just things get a little bit more hectic.
Yeah, there's a lot. Hopefully be a little bit of fighting here. I'm a little concerned about English. You think he's in the Hoot Scout down there in one of them parishes in Louisiana? I'm hoping he's okay. I didn't know. But you know what? I think I'm going to check on him during the race, but I'm glad to see Greg here. Greg knows more about racing than English and I combined. So anybody want to actually listen about racing stuff, we're going to be in for a good night. That's for damn sure, because English and I don't know much about nothing but crawfish and drinking beer, That's our little jam.
The important part, you go fast, you turn left, you go fast some more, you turn left, and then, some courses you turn right.
Yeah, that's going to happen next week, and I'm concerned. We may have to have you back for that. Next week is the right turn course, but tonight, one fast repair, 70% fuel, 5 sets of tires, and 25 incident points. You'll be disqualified, so that'll be interesting. I don't think we'll run into any issues. Cool on the track. I think it's going to be pretty grippy. Should be a good race.
It should be, as we take a look at tonight's race information, all brought to you by that Davidson Builders. Looking pretty good out here for this 1.5 mile track under these lights. No weather to worry about whatsoever, so these guys should be able to rip it and just head on out there, bringing us down to tonight's key to the race. And man, you got to start these playoffs strong. You do not want to get put behind the 8 ball. It's going to be a point style playoff, not like a knockout round or anything like that. So these guys, they're racing for every position out there, and we'll talk about who's in that top 10 to who's going to be racing for it here in just a second. But it's all about getting some good finishes and starting off strong.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to start off strong if you want to, compete for the playoffs. But who is going to be the spoiler? Who's going to come from somewhere we didn't see him coming from, and who's going to throw the first haymaker in the playoffs? That's really what it's all about. I don't know if we'll see any haymakers tonight. I'm hoping. But Greg, what do you think? We got 16 cars on the track. How racy can we get here with 16 cars in this format with the next gen?
With the next gen, I think you'll see them get pretty racy on this. Even with a slightly smaller car count, I think you'll still see some good racing. Probably a lot of side by side until they get the tires worn, and I'm sure they'll put on a good show for us. I wish I could tell you who my favorite would be, but I haven't really broadcast these guys before. I don't know them, so for me it'd be just throw a dart at the dartboard and say, "There's my guy."
Well, that may be the case with a few of them. I'm trying to look and see who my Favorite would be, I don't even know, Brown. Who are you going with?
Man, we got pretty much everybody in here tonight has at one point or another, coming down to the wire, had at least a chance to win something here. So, I don't know. I think it's gonna be a little too tough to call here tonight, and you're just gonna have to wait and find out. As qualifying, it's got about 4 more minutes left here as drivers continue to try to put down some lap times and what have you. So let's go ahead and talk about this reset in the points and where people stand. So Kevin Delia, Ryan Pandisio, you got Zeth Hawley, Joe Hoggard, Juan Jimenez, Paul Verdiani, Chris Muth Jr., Double O, Joe Bennett, Vince Short, and Derek Welsh, all racing for that championship. And of course, all the points have been reset here, and everybody's starting off on that clean slate. So we'll have to keep in mind on what happens there, and it's gonna be interesting here for sure. As it looks like, speaking of Chris Muth, he's out there on track now, putting in some laps.
Just tagged the wall in 4. I think we're going to see that quite a bit tonight. But look at his paint scheme. He's got the Clydesdales on the hood. Now that might be my favorite right there. It reminds me of the holidays. Budweiser.
That reminds me of Super Bowl, not really the holidays, but
yeah, it's the holidays.
They always have a holiday commercial for Budweiser with the Clydesdales. I know exactly where Adam's going with that one. So.
Yeah. And they got a Super Bowl one too, which is always cool. But it's a cool paint scheme nonetheless in the number 3.
Now me, I'm going for paint scheme. I'm talking Gavin Ray with that all-American paint scheme there. You know, makes you want to stand up and salute.
You can't go wrong
USA,
with that.
So.
Yeah.
But my bold prediction, the number 1 car will finish number 1.
Oh, wow. Derek Welch.
That's a good choice. Juan Jimenez now getting on out there on the racetrack. He's been having a good couple of races here. The biggest problem for Juan, though, is exactly what we see there right now. Internet connection coming from Santo Domingo there. I think that's been his biggest downfall, really, is just not quite having that connection stability, and been kind of falling out of races here.
Yeah, but he tends to pull through at the end. If he can keep that internet connected, we'll see him in the top 5, I bet you. But let me talk about some of the YouTube things going on out there. We got actually people. This is English's job, so I'm just learning how to do it. Big Dog Gaming says, "Come on, NTG, let's get it tonight." John Buckley says, "Let's go 27." So he's going for the 27 car tonight of Gavin Ray. Big Dog Gaming's mentioned, he probably is in the Who Scow. Talking about English, he's responding to me. Richard Gray, let's go AAA. And let's see. 7-Eleven Trick, let's go V Short. John Buckley wants, let's go Ray. And Nikki Short, let's go Short. Everybody's out there. Y'all hit the button, like, subscribe, mash buttons. Whatever you do, right, Brown? You got to hit that thumbs up or whatever.
Ring that notification bell, because that's super important to get alerted every time that we go live. But of course, hit that thumbs up button if you really like the racing that you do see, so that way Mark Zuckerberg over there can see that hey, people like this. We need to share it with more and more people on their suggested feeds here, and that's exactly how we grow this great community. Speaking of growing this great community, let's head on down there to the pit road, or wherever these guys are gridding up here tonight. Our drivers are getting all stacked up and ready to rumble here, and we can start today's grid off right with that Double O Joe Bennett machine starting way up at the front, winning pole position here. Derek Welsh in that one machine. The pick by Mr. Greg Klein. He's going to start here in second. You got Panic at the Disco, Ryan Pandisio in the 663 starting here in third, with the 64 of Joe Hoggard starting in fourth. 23 of Mac Daddy Mark Collins starting in fifth, with the 9 of Tommy Welsh starting in sixth. That's one of Tommy's best starting spots here. You got the 15 of Vince Short starting here tonight in 7th, with the 3 of Chris Muth Jr. starting in 8th. 9th is going to be the 43 of Kevin Delia, and the 48 of Zeth Hawley rounding out tonight's starting top 10.
All right. You go ahead there.
You go. I'm looking at these names, and I think you need to be doing
okay,
this.
so
I don't know these guys,
get...
and I would butcher them way too badly.
I won't butcher them. Let's do it. 67, Nathan Stanley, 11th. 22, Eric Thornton, 12. 33, the Gambler, Paul Ferdiani, who starts 13th. Looks like on my screen, 14th to 44 of Dana Shepard. 15th will be 27 of Gavin Ray. 16th, double nickel of Tom Barish. And it's showing Juan Jimenez there in 17th. I don't know. It could be a little bit different in the back, but we're already getting comments about Klein's commentary. Derek Welch says, I just got picked to win. I'm screwed. So you got that going for you, Greg. Then they're going to.
Well, you guys have done that to me this season in another race, another league. So I may have got him with the broadcaster's curse. We will have to see how this goes.
They claim it happens. I don't believe it.
You guys did it to me. It happened.
No.
I was there.
Oh, man.
You guys interviewed me 3 laps later. I was crashed out. So it's all on you.
It is the curse of the broadcaster. It is a disease, and there's no vaccine for it whatsoever. As these guys head on out to the track, getting all stacked up behind the pace car where the lights are turned off, and we get ready to rumble here tonight as we head on down the back straightaway here and get ready for 125 laps or so. Gotta see how many it is. It's 120 total. So we should have some very good racing for a good chunk of this. We'll talk about more about the pit strategies and that kind of thing as we head on down here. But first things first, we got to get this party started.
Well, I'm ready for a party. Kansas is a great place to party, Greg. You're kind of close up there. They got casinos up there by the racetrack. So that's
this is one of the few tracks I've actually been to in real life.
Indeed, as the pace car is down, the green flag is out, and away we go for the first time here tonight. Green flag racing here at Kansas. You got that 00 Joe Bennett machine getting a great jump off the gun here. Ryan Pandisia, though, he's going to be challenging him early, trying to peak down low. Not quite getting the run here. A little bouncy back and forth here as the 663 now bounces up to that high side, making it too wide. He's going to do the old Chastain, ride that wall a little bit there. Unfortunately, though, it kind of slowed him down rather than helped him speed on up here.
There we got a crash.
Crash
already.
Like
23, and I can't see who crashed him.
Oh, looks like 23 and the 43 getting involved.
And right there in 4, kind of what I was talking about. 4 is tough. And looks, what they do? They push in 4? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Collins lost it on his own, look like, and elected the 43 at Delia. Is that a cold tire situation?
Yeah, probably cold tires, and it's 4's tough to get off of. It does get really loose there, so got to be careful. Unfortunately, he wasn't quite careful enough and collected somebody else in the process.
Yeah, I will say, though, the 15 of Vince Short, he's going to need some new pair of pants there, as he was very close to getting that rear end taken out from him.
Some of these guys may have the diapers on, like that astronaut that drove from Houston to Florida. And I know that's one of my favorite stories. I mention it every once in a while. But he got through it, still early. But anybody you think are they going to have to burn their fast repair? Because that's a huge problem, because we only have one.
If anyone does, it's going to be that 23 of Collins. I think the 43 of Delia is okay. If you wanted to get manual damage done, you probably can. But I think for the most part, everyone's going to be okay. And that's also just how this new composite body kind of works here, Greg. I don't know how much racing in these newer Cup cars you've done, but we have seen it. We've seen some pretty hard impacts, and the body doesn't look too damaged. It's just those consistent impacts time and time and time again with that outside wall, and you'll start to maybe see a little bit of suspension damage.
Yeah, I haven't done a ton of races with the next gen yet. Hopefully soon, the league I'm in will probably do that. But yeah, composite body, that's what they were made to do, is take a little more damage and not create tire problems and tire cuts and all that kind of thing. So they should be fine as long as there's not too much damage. As long as the suspension's not hurt, shouldn't be a problem.
I'll tell you who's having a problem is Dana Shepard getting in his pit box. That is going to take some time. He just jumped in there for a second, and he just had a hard time getting in there. I guess he'll be fine. He's not going to get lapped.
He was looking for Junior down there. I know Iverson puts Junior hidden around these tracks.
Yeah, he could have been. Oh, do they really? I didn't know that.
They do.
Man, an Easter egg? Nobody told me about this.
Oh, they're
I
like,
know where a couple of them are. Not this one, but
yeah,
I know a couple.
Some of them are like super hidden. You wouldn't even think to look there, kind of places.
Oh my god, that's cool.
Like Phillip Island, there's a yacht way off in the distance, and they're sitting on the fantail of that yacht.
Well, that makes
I know
sense.
that one.
Dale Jr. on a yacht, that makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Looks like we're going to go around on one more time here. At least the lights are still on the pace car.
If you want one that doesn't make sense, go look at Suzuka, and they're actually on top of the merry-go-round there, or the Ferris wheel. And they're standing up there.
Why am I just now learning about this? I've been doing this a while. Y'all never taught me this. Y'all taught me everything else about the racing, iRacing. Nobody taught me this. Now I'm going to be searching for this guy all night.
We had to wait for the proper moment, and now the proper moment is here, so we told you.
I appreciate it. I'm mesmerized by this whole thing. Well, Big Dog Gaming says, "You got this, man." Daniel, DP. I can't pronounce his last name. Poachslog. Let's go. DEP Racing. That's his team, I believe. Let's pick up another win. Big Dog Gaming says, "Let's go NTG number 1." And Track Bar Media, another sponsor. Track Bar Media to the front. Good luck, Vince. And then they said, "Whew, yeah, that was a shoe moment there for Vince Short." Man, okay, guys. You guys carry the race. I'm looking for Dale Jr. Maybe I can get on his podcast. Pretty cool.
Well, it's not just Dale Jr., it's Dale Jr. and Steve Myers.
Really?
They're both in there together.
Okay. Are they always together, or do you have to?
Yeah.
Always together.
Okay. This is amazing.
And they're doing the little iRacing guy pose, with the arms up.
Okay.
We'll have fun finding that one.
I got to get my mind off this, or I will lose track of what's actually happening here. I was just thinking about that FTX guy who got arrested in the Bahamas today. Did you see that? That was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
Who? Tom Brady?
No, the Bitcoin scam guy or whatever he was.
Yeah.
Got him.
I can't think of his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Big con man. Just another one. This is what we need, another con man in America. We got places full of them. Nobody's conning out here tonight, though. We're racing. This is what it's about.
Indeed, the only thing that's being conned is maybe some corn. That's how my grandfather used to say corn is con.
Oh man, that's northeast.
Yeah,
New England accent for sure.
You ain't kidding us. The pace car heads on down into pit lane here once again, going back to green flag racing here side by side. A little bit more of a restart here for Double O Joe. He's gonna still have that 64 of Hoggard, trying to work his way on that outside here as they go side by side down into turns 1 and 2. The 64 and the 663 though finally getting a little bit of that run off of that start and start making their way as the 15 of Vince Short wasting no time, picking up spot after spot, cruising past that 64 of Hoggard and moving on up into a podium spot here. The 22 Eric Thornton, he's going to be side by side right now with that 9 of Tommy Welch as he continues to fight for some spots here. That 64 now trying to maybe make a little comeback move here on the 15 as Ryan Pandisia looks down low on the Double O Joe machine, heading down the back straightaway. That 663 docket machine, trying to pick up a win and start this playoff run strong.
Well, everybody's finding, like, trying to figure out their line. There's some really good racing all the way 1 through 10, at least 11. Hell, all the way back to Ferdiani. There is a lot of movement on the track. Is this where, Greg, they're trying to find kind of where they like to run, and they're just trying to feel it out?
That's one of those things with progressive banking. You got to find where you're comfortable running, where the car's comfortable running. A little less banking at the bottom, a little more banking at the top. I think you'll probably see, as the tires wear, we get a longer run, they'll all end up at the top line.
Yeah, and it's going to be a little slippery and slidey after those tires start to wear. Ooh, Delia get a little slippery there. 43 saved it in that Doritos Camaro. Cool looking paint.
And indeed, Kevin Delia trying to fight his way up through some of this field. He's got some 2 wide going on in front of him here with that 48 and the 3, as they continue to beat and bang and battle their way around here at Kansas with that 663 of Ryan Pandisio out in front. He was able to get around Double O Joe. Double O Joe's lost quite a few spots now. He's Vince Short, Joe Hoggard, Derek Welsh, and Eric Thornton all getting around him. As looks like we're single filing out just a little bit here, maybe racing for a longer green flag run and try to get these laps on in here. Of course, as I'm saying that, we got people trying to make some moves. Got the 43 trying to figure a way around the 3. You also got that 33 of Paul Ferdiani, the gambler, trying to sneak his way around this track.
Yeah, he's got that Hazel Baden scheme tonight. That's a nice whiskey. Good paint scheme. Daniel says, how about the new paint on the 663 Pandisio? He likes that DEP racing machine.
I wonder why.
Exactly. I wonder why.
I'm just glad I don't smoke those Fendi Sunny cigarettes, because the paint job on that number 9 car, that Mountain Dew Major Melon, would probably just look wild.
Holler Boy says, steady as she goes short. Which, I got to see that paint. Oh, the Welch. Thomas Welch. Yeah, that thing looks crazy to begin with. Can't imagine if I was on the left-handed things.
Yeah, that would be a little much, probably.
Man.
You'd be freaking me out, man.
That's the 2 go side by side here with the 3 of Chris Muse Jr. trying to work his way up through the field. Looks like his interwebs has been stabilized here just a little bit. You got the 48 of Holly trying to stay in front of the 43 here, as the 43 continues to make little moves here and there, charging up through this field. The 1 of Derek Welsh now looking down low on the 22 of Eric Thornton, beating and banging, almost getting up into that outside wall. Goes the 9, as we got some people making use of that apron line, and they used up every single inch of that apron. And even then some, we saw a little bit of a grass mowing going on there, as Pandisio now faces the 64 of Hoggard, trying to make the move coming up on the outside.
I think the outside is going to be the place to pass, especially when you get some wear on the tires, because there's so much more banking up there, more grip. I think that's where you can see everybody go.
That's what we just saw, wasn't it, right there with Joe?
Yeah.
Yep, that it was. And we even saw it last night at Old Atlanta, as we're 3 wide here towards the back of this field. The 2, the 43. Oh my goodness. With the 3, and are able to figure that one on out. Now, Kansas is not a narrow track. There is some width to it, so you can make 3 wide work. But I would have loved to see if they could have held it through turn number 4 there, because I think that's going to be the trickier of all the corners here tonight, as they continue to race those side by side here, the 2 and the 3, with the 43 sitting right there behind them, just waiting for a moment to pounce.
48 is pouncing on the 9 right now. They are side by side.
Yes. All kinds of stuff going on over here. Sorry. Go ahead, Greg.
They're singled out, but there's still some pretty good racing around the track.
That they are, as they make their way out of turn number 2. Look at them get close to that wall as they were coming out of that turn. Holy smokes. Running it and ripping it for sure. As that 48, man, he's still trying to fight through some of this traffic here. The 9 to Tommy Welch now losing a couple spots there to the 2, as well as the 3 making his way on through. Now the 43 Adelia trying to sneak his way past Tommy.
And Thomas Welch hit the wall just there a little bit in coming out of 4, but he was slow to begin with. So I don't know what's going on with his machine right now. I mean, they might not be feeling comfortable with those tires. It could be. Or are you saving?
And that could be, or just maybe not quite as comfortable riding that higher line here tonight. And it's definitely, we see it in real life, Greg, especially, you know, like Miami Homestead, where, you know, they call it the Larson line. You're right up against that wall the entire lap. And I know iRacing has done some work trying to add a little bit of like a air cushion so you don't necessarily get sucked up into it, but it still doesn't make it easy. It's you got to really hit your marks and know exactly what you're doing up there.
I mean, I've been racing for more than 6 years on this, and I still screw up the high line every time. I'm just not comfortable with it myself, so I know how they feel. It's not my favorite line. The tracks that require a high line, I'm usually not quite as good at, because it's just that wall's scary. It comes up on you fast.
Yeah, it's like you're staring at it and you just drive right into it, is kind of what I've found, because you were trying to be so close and be so precise. It's kind of taxing on your brain.
You just get mesmerized by the wall.
Well, that's true. I get mesmerized. Oh, Delia got tapped a little bit. I'm mesmerized by all this.
Ooh, as we got some right side romance going on up at the front.
Ooh.
Got some door tagging going on between the 15 and that 663. Fighting for a second place spot right now with that one of Derek Welsh sitting right there behind him.
Derek Welch isn't cursed just yet with the prediction. John Buckley says walls are scary. Yep, bears are fast, walls are scary.
Mm-hmm.
True story.
I'll go with that.
And Disio hit the wall there, dropping back a little bit.
Yeah, he was racing pretty hard against Vince Short there, and I wonder if he might have gotten those tires just a little too heated up and started to push up the track a little bit here. So he's going to tuck back in a line, maybe save some stuff. And, of course, as I'm saying that, he's still side by side with that one of Derek Welsh with the 15 still sitting there in front of them.
I did a couple of test laps before we started this, and that setup is real pushy.
Tommy Welsh, he's going through the grass here doing some lawn mowing. He does know it's December now and the grass doesn't grow as much, right?
Well, he's been having a rough go. I don't know what's going on with his car, our tires. But you also, while you're running that test run, Greg, you ran a tire run or a fuel run. What are we getting fuel wise here, you think?
I didn't do a really long run. I think we're looking at probably 35 to 40 laps before they need fuel.
They're going to want tires before that too.
But you're on limited tire sets, so...
Well, we have only 5 tonight. So they're not unlimited, but that's still plenty for 120 laps, I think.
Especially the way these guys are running here. Lap 25 now underway. Here out of 120, 64, Joe Hoggard just trying to drive his way past and around this field and continue to build up that lead as Ryan Pandisia goes side by side with that one of Derek Welsh. He's going to have the two of Juan Mendez creeping up on him here once again as they go side by side down the back straightaway here. The two trying to maybe do a little draft and help here to that 663, get him out to the front.
Yeah, I guess the draft helps here a little bit, right? I don't know. I've never really driven any of these next-gen cars for a long period of time. I don't know how the draft works.
Well, the draft will work a little bit on these. I mean, any car like this is going to have some sort of draft help. But They're getting pretty racy out there.
That they are, and of course Derek Welsh, she's just out here trying to be like, come on guys, I just wanna race. I want some room, as he's got the 48 on his outside now while he's watching this battle between the 663 and the 2 machine. Both drivers electing to go down to the apron there and try to maybe get a little bit of a run, as we're also starting to see a little bit of a difference between lifting zones and whatnot, as Derek Welsh, he gets a big run coming out of turn number 2. He's going to try to get around Ryan Pandicio here, and we also saw it going into the corner. It looked like Derek Welsh was trying to maybe send it in a little bit harder here to maybe set up for that pass. He's now got the 48 of Zeth Holly peeking on in underneath that 663 as well.
Ooh, man. There's a lot going on. Daniel says he took the Mario Kart shortcut, guys. B Rose 304, long race. Let's go. HBR number 15.
Yeah, this is the point. Tires are getting some wear on them. The cars are getting a little loose, a little slick. This is a good time to be racing.
Well, that's because you know how to save tires, Greg. Some of these guys don't. What about this where they dive down below that white line near the front, on the front stretch? Is that Greg, do you do that? I don't particularly care for it because it feel like I'm out of control coming back onto the track.
It really depends on the track. Some of them, the banking, the way that it meets the apron, it makes it really easy to do, and it's easy on the car. But some, it gets pretty violent. So it depends on the track. Sometimes I do. Most times I don't. I just stay on the track. I think that's easier on the
one
tires
of Derek
too.
Welsh having some problems coming out of turn number 4. He's able to get back a hold of it, though, as he loses a spot to the 663 and the 48 there. But a good save for the number 1.
I think he just pushed up into the wall there. Might have misjudged his lifting point or something.
See, my problem, and Greg, you don't normally get too much of it either, but I have a problem. It's like almost every car I drive, it feels like it's one of those modifieds where that right side sticks out a little bit too far. And so I think I might have some extra room, but really I don't, and I end up just snagging the wall just due to not realizing where the right side of that car is.
Yeah, and I fight that too, especially I don't have a triple screen triple monitor in there. I'm on one TV, a 55-inch TV, so that doesn't give me the peripheral vision like some of these guys will have. So I can only imagine how much nicer it is for them, and they're still hitting the wall. So it's really easy to do.
I mean, you're doing it on a 55-inch television?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
and I think what you ripped out a limousine seat, or what seat are you using now there, Craig?
It's one that Jimmy and I found the junkyard. We have no idea what it came out of. It's a driver's seat where the seat belt is, but the controls for lowering the seat and the seat back handles on the right side of the seat. Weirdest thing ever. I have no idea what it came out of.
That's a little bizarre. Also, speaking of Jimmy, a mutual friend of ours in the hospital, I know he's not watching because he doesn't care about this stuff, but I sure hope he's doing better, Greg, or you get to go see him tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw him yesterday. Probably gonna see him tomorrow. He's had a little health issue and in the hospital for a little bit, and just always wishing him the best of luck. And like I said, I'll go up and see him tomorrow and see if I can amuse him and
please do
keep him in good spirits.
Yeah, you got to hear him crack his terrible jokes again on here on the Discord. So hope he's getting better.
Well, I missed the Jimmy scream when we like crash him and stuff. So that was always fun.
That's true too. It's fun to make him mad. I know that. Hey, Albert Anderson says, Greg, if you had a 2-inch television, you would still be fast. Great job in the boot tonight. Oh, okay. So he's saying you're good, even you don't need much screen. Oh, 27 is in the wall.
It's the 1 and the 27. I've kind of been going back and forth here for the last couple laps. I think the 1 might be dealing with a little bit of aero problems here from his wall tap that he had. It wasn't a really light tap. He hit that wall pretty good. So he's been slowly losing ground on the guys in front of him, but he's been having a pretty good race here with that 27 of Gavin Ray.
Yeah, so Greg's got here getting compliments about his driving. There, Greg. So that was nice of Albert to say.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I
I've raced with him a
tend to-
little bit, so
Yeah, he's a good driver too. America's driver, Albert Anderson. I don't know if you know that.
I do know that.
You hadn't climbed him yet, have you? You've been treated him nicely?
No. I've been treating him
good.
nice. So.
Treat him nice. He's a good
I mean, I'm getting older and more mature, so I don't climb as many people as I used to.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm trying to behave. You guys, I climbed all the time because it was fun and amused me, but, these guys are a little more serious about it than we were.
Yeah, climbing is when you're about to win the race and he just takes it away from you by dumping you.
I just
call that climbing.
I have a smaller screen, so I misjudged where you were. That's my official excuse on it.
There you go.
Yeah, but did he take you out and turn to a Pocono? The answer is
no.
He did
not.
No,
see,
No,
now you
that
had to
isn't.
bring up that. You had to bring it up. These guys go to Pocono in 2 weeks, and I'm going to have a field day with English. This guy, he tried to terrorize me one night at Pocono, and I'll never forget it. I'm not going to bail you out tonight, English, if you're out there listening somewhere. I already got the bail money ready. But
He's
now I
probably
thought
still
about
mad
Pocono.
at me for Daytona when I did dump him. Or was that just Talladega I dumped him going to the finish line?
Who, me?
No, English.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about him.
Yeah,
He
I think
deserved it.
he was pretty mad on that one.
Do have our first taker coming on down into pit road. That's going to be the 22 of Eric Thornton. Gonna get this this kind of pit party started off. Is expecting probably within the next 10 or so laps, everybody coming on down. You still have some good battles going on. The 2 of Juan Jimenez up 15 spots, and this isn't the first time we've seen this, Adam, with Juan. Just, maybe having not the best of qualifying. I actually think his qualifying time got invalidated because he just wasn't there for 3/4 of his lap. And so
That's true.
iRacing was having problems with that, but so he started in the back, fought his way up to the front. He's now trying to chase down that 64 Joe Hoggard as we continue this green flag run. The 27, the 663, and the 1 continue to have a good battle here inside of this top 10. All 3 of these guys trying to get the best finish that they can, but the 27 Gavin Ray just missing out by 1 point. One singular point to make it up into these playoffs here. So he's racing, trying to maybe pick up some extra cash.
Yeah, thank him for showing up tonight too. A lot of guys. Juan just hit the wall a little bit before. A lot of guys sometimes tend to mail it in when the playoffs start. If you're not in the playoffs, I'm going to take my toys and go home.
Ooh, yellow flag is out.
What happened there?
00 Joe Bennett in the 44 getting knotted up.
Man, that's not cool.
Looks like Nathan Stanley getting tied up in it as well. Let's go ahead and kind of see what happened here. Oh, 00 Joe, I think he was coming down to go into the pits, but he just had an awkward entrance onto that apron. And
Sure did. It just spun him. That was weird. Oh, I don't think he hurt too well. Never mind. Somebody ran.
oh,
ran
yeah, the 44 got hard into the back of 00 there. And
There's a lot of good wreck avoidance going on at the first part of that wreck.
yeah, the 9 of Tommy Welsh got into the back of the 33 of Ferdiani there a little bit, able to, for the most part, save it there. Head on down towards pit road. Nathan Stanley getting snagged up in it as well. So getting our next caution here at lap 43. And you know what? This is a pretty good time for it because everyone was coming on down to pick up some tires and some extra fuel as well. But I kind of feel bad for the 27 and the 22. They're going to be restarting this thing from the back of the field. They will probably stay out here to get the wave around. But, oh, man, that's kind of a bummer there for them.
I was looking at that. It looked like the 00 just got down on the apron a little too quick, a little too early. Needed to come a little further towards pit road before he got down there.
But is it because you have those worn tires? Is that why it just spun like crazy there?
Well, when you kind of hit that, you de-wedge the car, so you take the wedge out, and that just spins them.
See, that's the brain stuff I don't know nothing about. I'm over here looking for Dale Jr. eat the hot dog stand. The wedge. Well, that's pretty sweet.
It's a technical term. I'm not even trying to explain it to you.
Please don't. I don't. My brain's.
I don't. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to hurt your head.
I don't. It's already been hurt too many times. Been hit in the head a lot.
With a great stop there from that 2 of Juan Jimenez, winning that race off of pit road. Joe Hoggard slipped in between the 2 and that 48, heading back out there on track as we catch on back up to this pace car. About a third of the way through this race, getting all set up for the next third.
Man, stack them back up, re-rack them. Not too much damage all the way around. We do have one fast repair. What are we at? Lap 44, getting close, kind of close to halfway through. If you got to use it, you got to use it. I mean, part of the deal.
That indeed is. Looks like the 9 of Tommy Welsh electing to come down about a lap or so later here and get some pit stop work done.
Oh, we got people out there watching our broadcast while they're racing. That's part of the problem.
What do you mean?
But I heard on the radio, he said exactly what I thought it was. He just got down the apron too early.
Oh, did he? You listen to the radio too?
Yeah, I got the radio going too. So.
Yeah, I hear them popping off on the radio. Sometimes they yell at me. It's fun.
Yeah, but everybody yells at you.
I know, but I almost got banned from a league one time for some of my commentary. I thought the comments were appropriate for the, what was happening.
Did you not keep them family friendly?
I thought they were. I was talking about a little bit of Florida man and Canadian man, and
you got to be careful of those Florida man stories because some of those are way out there.
Well, I made this whole thing up in my mind, and it didn't go as well as just like reading a Florida man story. Yeah. I probably was a little bad. I got scolded, right? It was no big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the Florida man story for this week, but I can't say it on here because we're trying to keep it family friendly.
Is that the one? Is that the one? The one that had the dog? The dog.
Yes.
Okay. That's a great one. I won't mention it either, but that's a great Florida man story.
It's a great one, but it's not family friendly, so we can't bring it up here. Look up Florida man and dog, and if you want to, that's on you guys.
Happened recently. You can read it at your own pleasure. It's pretty amazing. I really wanted to use it, but I know it's not for here.
Yeah.
So we get all stacked back up behind the pace car here. We get ready for this next round of racing here. As a 2 of Juan Jimenez is going to lead the charge with the 64 Joe Hoggard on his outside, the 48 of Zetali, and the 15 of Vince Short all up in here in the top 5. Same thing with that 663 Ryan Pandicio. One of Derek Welsh is looking to make a charge up through this leaderboard again, as well as we get ready with the pace car peeling off down onto pit road. And here we go back to green flag racing here, side by side on this restart. The 2 getting a good jump on that 64 up on that bottom side, so he's going to break free. That's allowing the 48 of Zetali to maybe try to squeeze his nose up underneath him there on that low side. 64 finally finding that gear and getting up to speed. The 15 coming off that corner almost gets up into the wall right there in front of the 48 as we go back to racing here tonight in Kansas.
Man. Hang on, I'm getting caught up on all this. Joe Bennett says the 00 Joe. So didn't stop him from having some fans just because he spun out. We got 00 Joe fans out there tonight. I like how it looks like they're merging in and out of traffic. And Tulsa has some traffic, so kind of like Tulsa, you got your hand on the wheel and a hand on the pistol right there at rush hour. Looks real risky right now.
You got a knee on the wheel and a hand on a pistol in each hand. You know,
Two
you gotta have
pistols.
2 pistols.
Depends on what part of town you're in.
Yeah,
I
that'd
guarantee
be
you,
North
though.
Tulsa.
Yeah, that's where my dad's from, right there. It's a little rough.
A little bit. But yeah, you drive with your knees and you got a pistol in each hand. That's how that works.
Sweet. Oh, I love it.
Got some good side-by-side action going here with the 663 and the 48, as the 1 and the 43 behind them have some good battles, some beating and banging going on between the 22 and the 9 as well. The 3 Chris Muth Jr. kind of hanging on back there, trying to figure out a way to get around some of this traffic. You got Ryan Pandicio finally losing that battle here to that 48, and the 1's trying to sneak around on the outside here as well. So I think these guys are getting a little bit more confident running that higher line as the 64 of Hoggard tries to chase down that 2 of Juan Jimenez here, and they're going to be pretty close, bumper to bumper, coming back down across the line. Vin Short still up here in that top 3. Trying to stay up
sideways crash, big crash.
Ooh, the 9
44.
goes turtled up onto the roof, comes back onto the wheels. That was a wild ride for the 9 and Tommy Welch.
Yeah, 44 was involved. 9 really just got destroyed. I don't know what started it, though. We're going to have to kind of see what happened. It was started with the 44 coming up on the 3 and just looping back on the track. Thomas Welch has disconnected. I think he had enough.
And it's the 44, yeah, the 44 and the 3 just get snagged out. The 44 slides down in front of the 9, and the 9, man, just nowhere to go as the 44 came back up onto the track. Nathan Stanley getting lucky on that one. The 27 of Gavin Ray, oh no, that's how the 9 gets all flipped upside down. Got that 27 flying his way on through, and it's whenever you got to see the ground, the sky, you know something is definitely not going quite right.
How did the 44 go from bottom to top so quickly, or why did he? Was it because he was down low there?
It just, man. It's
below the white line, or did it cause a rough transition is what I'm asking, you think, maybe?
It could have. It's just... These cars, when they start getting kind of all out of sorts, man, it's hard to really try to keep these things all tamed and under control, and especially, you know, they're running, 170, almost 180 miles an hour. It's tough.
Yeah, these cars, like the Gen 6 had a little bit of side force to them. These have very little side force, so when you get them sideways like that, it's really, really tough to bring them back.
Oh man, there's a casino right there. I'm gonna stop in real quick. There's a casino at the racetrack. Let's call him my name.
You'll just lose all your money again.
That's fine. I don't care. I just they gave me a room down there at this last casino I was at. I got a free room. So how about that, Greg? I mean, I only lost so much money, so they gave me a free room.
And did the free room make up for all the money you lost?
Don't know. Do you think they're trying to scam me?
Probably.
Those jokers.
They're playing you for a sucker.
That happens all the time. Albert Anderson says, if you look close in the stands, you can see Ted Nugent. Ooh, I got to look for him too then. Didn't know Ted Nugent was here. Maybe he's deer hunting in Kansas or something.
If you look in the blimp, you can probably see Elon Musk.
Yeah, talk about smart guy. Ooh, Yahtzee.
And that indeed, as let's go ahead and talk to one of these drivers here, Greg. Let's go ahead and get the 48 of Zeth Hawley, part of the Plus EV racing team, on the horn. Hey, Zeth, it's the guys in the booth. Got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Man, having a pretty fun time out there. You were just having a pretty good battle with Ryan and Derek there, and it looks like with these cars here tonight, it's gonna be competitive until those tires really start to fall off. But I mean, even then, we were still seeing some good side-by-side action.
Yeah, for that whole entire first stint after I went and got tires, my right front was still at 78, so I don't know what I'm doing, but it's saving a good chunk of tire.
That's kind of the secret here is saving those tires till the end. You got anything for these guys in front of you?
Yeah, well, on the long runs, I was tracking Vince down. I was keeping up with Juan and Hoggard pretty well, so I think I got something for him all the way to the end. Just gotta keep the car clean.
That is definitely an important aspect of it as well. Well, Zeth, good luck up there. Looks like you're going to be starting in fourth and having a pretty good look at it here up on that high side. And so hopefully we get to talk to you later.
Alrighty, see y'all.
Zeth racing in VR here tonight.
Yeah, I wish I could do that.
I'm telling you, man, we gotta build you up. Keep playing that poker. I know Jimmy's kind of the leader on that poker thing, and he's not necessarily playing that in the hospital right now.
I don't know. I got a week off next week from work. I may spend some time in here and try to see if I can't acclimate myself or throw up, one of the two. We'll see how it goes.
Hey, eventually you throw up enough that you just stop throwing up, right?
That's something we can test for.
Well, we can. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing here tonight with the 2 still up at the front. The 64 going to be starting right next to him. The 15 of Vince Short, the 48 of Zeth Holly right there as well. Still got a whole bunch of laps left to do here tonight as we approach halfway point, as these guys head on down into that Geico restart zone and back to green flag racing we go. That was an interesting start there. Looked like that top line was really pinching down on those bottom line guys here, maybe forcing them to stay down lower and give them that run up on the high side here. But the 2 of Juan Jimenez, he doesn't care. He just absolutely runs away from the field here on that restart, with the 15 now going up underneath that 64 of Hoggard and picking up that spot. You also got that 663 of Ryan Pandicio squeezing around that 48. You now have the 1 and the 22 going side by side behind him here. The 27 almost getting snagged up in that outside wall, as the 43 Kevin Delia trying to make some moves here as well.
It's pretty racy off the restart.
Ooh, there goes the 1.
These guys don't use them up.
Oh my goodness, what a save. Oh, come on, D-Dub. Come on, D-Dub. Ah, almost, but he is off the track, so we're going to stay green flag racing here. It looks like the 43 just snagged the quarter panel there of the 1, sending him on a kind of gentle drift down onto the apron, as the 15 of Vince Short tries to catch on up to the 2 of Juan Jimenez and tries to take control of this race. Side by side goes the 22 and the 663 as they head on down onto the back straightaway here.
You know Derek's going to blame me for this, right?
Oh no!
Since I picked him to win.
Hey,
He's going to blame me for this.
That's not a bad luck thing. That was there was driver error involved in that one.
Yeah, let's blame it on some. Maybe he'll fight somebody. That'd be the more fun. Not you, Greg. We can't fight the broadcasters. We're not fightable. We can't be fought. Y'all fight down there on the track. Kind of like what Juan Jimenez is doing, up 15 spots, fighting it out with Vince Short right now. And Hoggard.
Yeah, Vince Short sneaking around that 2 machine here, trying to run away from this field now. But again, it's going to be one of those things where until these tires really start to wear out, you know, these guys, I don't think they're going to be able to really run away from anybody here. I think that draft is just a little too strong on these straightaways.
Well, until the tire wears too, you can use the low line, the high line, whichever line gets you a little faster. Once they wear out, you're kind of stuck, I think, to the high line more than anything.
Yeah, and as they wear even more, you better watch out where you're, kind of lifting. You're going to drift right up into that wall and make some of those Darlington-type stripes on that wall right there.
As the 22 and the 2 go 2 by 2 down and across the line into turns 1 and 2. And it looks like the 22, Eric Thornton, he's making up some ground here, up 9 spots on this race here today and moving his way on up into third. Also got a good battle going on between Cubby, Nathan Stanley, and the 43 of Kevin Delia here as they went side by side. The 43 trying to make up some ground. He's chasing down that 00 Joe Bennett machine as in front of him you got the 27, the 663, and the 48 going side by side there. 3 wide for just a second. Now down the back straightaway as the 27 continues to move up through this field. The 2 and the 64 now going side by side right in front of them as well, fighting for some of these podium spots.
That's a pretty good move by the 27 going on the high side like that. He made up quite a few spots in a hurry.
Yeah, so Gavin Ray and Eric Thornton have a little bit fresher tires. There's a couple of others, so that's definitely playing a role into this. How do you think this strategy? Do you think there's a lot of strategy going on right here about tire, when to change some tires and short pitting and all that stuff?
I'm sure the teams are talking about strategy, but I've never been real good at that part of it. I just run the fuel out, change the tires, and go drive again. I'm pretty dumb when it comes to that.
Well, it's because you're good at saving tires, so you kind of don't need to worry about all that other stuff.
Well, plus there's math involved in the rest of that. I'm like, I'm not good at that.
Well, we need a math guy. None of us are. English has to get the slide rule out. He can't even count with his fingers.
Paul Ferdiani got the lucky dog that last caution, so he's back up onto the lead lap, trying to catch on up here to the 67 and that 00 Joe Bennett machine. Almost some contact in front of him, though, between that 67 and 00. As up here for the lead, you got the 22 Eric Thornton having a good battle here with the 15 of Vince Short. Not quite able to make that move stick, so he's going to have to recharge that run. But in the meantime, the 2 of Juan Jimenez looks like he's finding his traction here once again and squeezing his way up this leaderboard, trying to get back in control of this race up here at the front.
27 just made a great move on the outside. Mega pass. He was flying. I think he's figured that high line out.
Yeah, it looks like it as he goes side by side here with that 2 of Jimenez. And still going to be side by side as they head on down into turns 3 and 4s. They're kind of tucked up behind the couple guys in front of them, Vince Short and Eric Thornton here. But we still got ourselves pretty much a 6-car battle here for control of this race. Seth Hawley sitting there in that 6th spot. You know, only about half a second off the lead as we are almost going 3 wide here for the lead. Not quite, as the 27 makes a move up and down and then back around here on that 2. And then now the 22, as he, with that run, tries to sneak up the inside of the 15 of Vince Short.
He made it stick.
Yeah, they're bunched up pretty good here at the front. Somebody might have nicked the wall. Was that Hawley? Might have nicked the wall there. Give Pandicio a little bit of moving up here on Seth Hawley. Man, they're really getting after it up front. Dang.
That they are. As the 22 of Eric Thornton kind of drifts backwards through this pack, and the 3 of Chris Muth Jr. starts to catch on up here. The 15 of Vince Short now has the 48 of Seth Hawley up on the inside of him here, and he's trying to hold him off as this run continues to charge on along with Gavin Ray now out in front. Where's the Gavin Ray fans out there? I know we see them out there occasionally.
Yeah, Buckley.
Unfortunately, last lap he ran it into the wall a little bit, kind of a little rubbing up there. Hopefully not damaged anything.
John Buckley, let's go, Gavin. Keep grabbing spots. And yeah, 27. So definitely got some Gavin Ray's fans out there.
Well, how can you not with that paint job? That's awesome.
It is pretty cool.
Very American.
There's an American Dream on the front of it.
Ooh, most some contact there between the 64 and the 48. The 64 getting the run through turns 1 and 2 and able to climb back up this leaderboard. The 3, Chris Muth Jr. now trying to chase down the 15 of Vince Short and move up a spot there. Nathan Stanley is trying to catch back up and back around that 33 of Ferdiani with Derek Welsh quite a ways behind, and he's even looks like he is still on the lead lap at least, but he's got some work left to do here in front of him as the 15 Vince Short tries to hold up that 3.
Yeah, Albert Anderson says he thinks Vince Short's tires gave up on him. He could be right there.
You can only flog them so hard before they get mad at you.
Yeah, you got to baby him.
Vince looks like he's munching on some gum over there while he drives, trying to maybe stave off some of that, hunger cravings, because I get hungry when I race. But of course, that's also because I'm talking with you fools, and you guys are always talking about food and gumbo and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I got my popcorn here. I'm just not eating it while we're talking. So,
well, that's nice. If you do, hit that mute. I mean, please don't. You don't need to share it with us. What kind of popcorn? You got anything special lined up there? Or is it just regular?
It's one of those tins like the caramel and the cheese and the
Christmas
butter.
holiday. Oh,
Yeah,
those are always good.
Oh, I love those.
Remember when you get those at the mall, and then you get that? What's that place? Hickory Farms. You get all the sausages and cheeses with a little strawberry candies in them.
Those are always good. Watching Gavin, and he's going to have to stop hitting the wall.
That's the key to the race.
I think it's starting to affect him right now.
Key to the race. Don't hit that wall.
Don't hit the wall. Yeah, he's bounced off of it a couple times, and that's allowed the 2 to catch up to him.
Yeah.
And I mean I personally haven't had any experience from the update a couple updates ago, Greg, where they started adding, the compounding damage that those wall hits have as the 2 makes his way around that 27. But have you had any experience with it yet? About just hitting the wall, not necessarily hard, but consistently, and then seeing damage being accumulated from that?
Usually, if I hit the wall, I just hit it hard and get it over with. I don't just tap it here and there. It's just wham, bam, and done.
Yeah, might as well, if you're going to do it 100%.
Do it right.
I agree.
But I think we're seeing it with Gavin right now. He's bounced off it a few times, and it's really slowed him down. So I'm sure he's feeling the damage now.
Yeah, same thing with that 22 at Eric Thornton. He's lost a couple of spots here, and Vince Short's looking like he's going to be trying to make his way around him here, up on the outside. Almost contact between those two as the 22 drifts up the track just a little bit, coming out of turn number 2 there. And they're still side by side as they went down into 3 and 4, and it looks like coming out, it's going to be Vince Short by a little bit of a gap as 64 Joe Hoggard makes his way around that 27 Gavin right now.
Yep, definitely having some issues in the 27 machine. He's still up 12 spots in 3rd, but he may have to get something fixed on that next pit stop.
How about this battle back here? Even though it's not up at the front, it's for 14th and 15th. Mark Collins and Dana Shepard. This is the battle for last place of the cars that are still running out here, and it was pretty good. They were side by side for a while.
Well, then let's get them into a fight or something. That'd be fun.
Well, they are fighting. They're just fighting with their cars.
I know, but then maybe we'll have some arguing and yelling at each other over the radio, and then threatening to come to the other state that the other one lives in. All that kind of fun stuff.
48 just bounced off the wall pretty hard.
Ouch.
And all happening right in front of the 64 Joe Hoggard and that 27 of Gavin Ray. And I remember some of these guys, for a good chunk of them, they last pitted back on lap 43. So we're coming up on 40 laps, even with the caution here on this set of tires and fuel, as Paul Ferdiani being one of the first ones to come on down into pit lane here for what could be the final time, as we got about 40 laps left in this race.
Yeah, Nathan Stanley is having us. He's sitting there in 11th in that mellow yellow cool looking machine in the 67. Just passed. He just passed Dana Shepard.
And he's trying to catch on up to 00 Joe Bennett, but he's about 2 seconds up the road from him here, so got a lot of work to do there for Cubby. He does have some lap traffic there around him, the 44 of Dana Shepard, and kind of splitting the difference between he and Mark Collins right now is Kevin Delia heading on down through the grass. Man, look at that dust trail coming up off of that car.
That's probably not the fast way around the track. I'm just saying.
He just got snug and snuck up against that outside wall, and it sent him on down into the grass. Heck of a job keeping it together, though, especially on that transition back onto the racetrack. I mean, how many times have we seen it as we're starting to see some pit stops happen here? Got Joe Hoggard, Gavin Ray, and Vince Short all coming on down into the pits. That leaves Juan Jimenez out there way out in front by about 3.5 seconds, and climbing here with Seth Hawley and Ryan Pandicio in second and third right now, as we got our final pit stops now underway.
Yeah, he doesn't want to stay out there very long if everybody's pitting. He's losing a lot of time with fresh tires behind him.
Yeah, this is a point in the race where I start getting real confused when we have these green flag pit stops. People start blending in, trying to figure out who's doing what. But that makes for part of the fun, right? For the drivers and for the people watching. It makes it very interesting near the end of the race, because some people just have the strategy down and have it all figured out, and we don't even know yet. That's what we're going to get to see.
That indeed. So let's see, continuing to have this pit cycle go along. Just got to remind everybody that keep those chats all coming, because we do have a giveaway coming up here at the end of this season, and that is for one of those fancy schmancy mechanical keyboards that's got all the RGB lighting. It's even got a little, looks like a volume knob or something up there in the top corner. And any gamer or even typist will tell you that mechanical keyboards are the way to go. Yeah, they might be pretty loud, but that's how you get the great feedback and all that, and make a nice clicky sound. So best way to enter is keeping those chats coming and getting selected as the fan of the race to get entered into that drawing here at the end of this season. So Turner, I know you've been keeping your eye out there, and I have as well. So still plenty of time for you to get your comments on in. As ooh, man, Juan Jimenez having a problem there coming on down pit road and almost snagging that entrance cone.
Well, they want a chance at that keyboard. They better impress me. I need to see some more. Valiant, are you still out there? I could make you fan of the race tonight if you're watching. Valiant. Waiting for him to... Ooh, look at Gavin Ray with those tires. He's just running through the field here on those brand new tires.
And Chris Muth Jr. as well coming on into the pit. Same thing with the 48 of Seth Hawley, as the 27 just cruises right on by that 67 of Nathan Stanley here, as the pit cycle continues to wage on here. I think Derek Welsh is staying out as long as possible here, hoping that someone messes up and he gets a kind of like a freebie pit stop out of it, trying to come back from his incident that he had. Ooh, Juan Jimenez still stuck down there in the pits. Did he have a possibly an unsafe pit entry penalty there?
Ooh, I'm going to have to check that. I don't see anything.
It's cleared now, but he was down in there for a long time, so he's going to have a lot of work left in front of him here, as Eric Thornton runs the fastest lap of the race, breaking that 31-second barrier with a 30.96.
And that is smoking at this track.
You ain't kidding us. He's making waves right now, trying to get back around the 33 of Paul Ferdiani. Ferdiani not on old set of tires, but he is on the oldest set that is out there. We're talking a difference of about 5 or 6 laps here. And the 22 machine cruising right on by. Nathan Stanley getting some lead lap points if he were in the playoffs. Here is the 663 of Nathan Stanley gets, or excuse me, the Ryan Pandicio gets around Nathan Stanley here to get his lap back before Nathan comes on down for his final pit stop.
I just don't know if this strategy is going to work for Nathan or not, unless he gets a caution at the right time. He's just losing so much ground to these guys.
And he could be, I guess, gambling on that, right? He's got nothing to lose.
He's got to be
He's not-
gambling on caution.
Yeah, and if he's not in the playoffs, oh wait,
He was
got-
almost the caution. That's the 33
Wow.
gets up into him there.
Well, there was that right door romance or whatever y'all talk about. But if he wins, he's not in the playoffs. He does get a cash incentive. Cash incentives for guys that aren't in the playoffs to win races here. So he could win a little extra cash. It's going to be part of the fun.
That's not a bad thing.
No, not at all. As Derek Welsh making his way on down into pit lane here for the final time, giving up on trying to get lucky, even though he almost did just get lucky there on having that caution come on out. So heading on down into pit lane. Mark Collins heading on down into the pits as well. So only one driver left yet to, two drivers left that have yet to come on down into pit lane. Looks like Dana Shepard and Nathan Stanley, your last holdouts here, as waiting for them to make their pit stops. But right now, the 64 machine of Joe Hoggard controls the essentially the lead of this thing here in just a little bit. Once when Stanley does come on down, he's got about a 2-second lead over Gavin Ray. Just as we're saying that, here comes that 67 on down into pit road as Juan Jimenez trying to make up for that penalty that he had to serve, now running the fastest lap of the race, beating Thornton's best time there by a 1/100th of a second.
Juan Jimenez had his last lap was the fastest of the race, 30-90.
Oh my goodness, he just absolutely obliterated that time. So Juan Jimenez, a man on a mission here. He doesn't care how much rubber he's burning right now. He needs to get back up here and put in some good laps.
He must be driving angry now.
He's driving like something. Like we used to say, drive it like he stole it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's doing.
Well, he basically lost a full lap there in the pits waiting for that penalty to be served. So he had to he's got to drive it hard to really make his way up. As the 48 is Zeth Holly, 43 Kevin Delia, and the 3 Chris Muth Jr. all find themselves all up together. Same thing with the 33 of Paul Ferdiani inside of this top 10, having a pretty good battle right now as the 43 tries to sneak down low on the 48, not quite able to get the run though.
Yeah, John Buckley's still out there cheering for Gavin Ray. Let's get back at it, Ray. And that was tight. I don't know what he was talking about there, but good to have all the guys chatting it up in the chat. Hit the like button, subscribe, notification bell. You won't be disappointed.
It's kind of fun for us to kind of read the chat and see what's going on, see who's rooting for who. I enjoy that.
Yeah, it's pretty. It brings a whole nother level to the racing, you know. Like the interacting with everyone. It's pretty neat.
Makes me want to scream Yahtzee.
Yeah, you should. I scream it all the time. It's like, oh, he's talking about when Paul was squeezing. That was that little. We almost had the crash there with Ferdiani. I got you. All right, we've spread out quite a bit here, Ron. What's the end game?
Well, the end game here is unless we see a caution, I mean, this thing's going to be run on out. We have no more pit stops needing to be made as we got 24 laps to go. Still a good fight here between the 48, 43, and the 3. Dana Shepard coming on out of pit lane here. Joe Hoggard trying to chase, trying to stay out in front, and Gavin Ray is in chase mode here. He can see him. He's not like so far up the road that he can't see him. Gavin Ray knows exactly how far he's got to get going here, as the 15 of Vince Short can see Gavin up there just barely. Not the best of views, but he can definitely see him there. So got some chasing having to be made here, and it's all going to be who's going to be able to maybe make that last second push on an old set of tires here and make some last lap pass. But otherwise, our field is kind of looking pretty stable right now, but of course we still got some battles going on. The 43 and the 3 still hacking it out.
Yeah, Chris Muth Jr. having a decent race. I don't think he's gained or lost anything, but definitely my vote for paint of the race in that number 3 machine. It's just so spread out right now, Brown. I'm trying to locate us a good battle, and I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, well, it's pretty much right here what we see. The 22 Eric Thornton starting to kind of fall back to where these guys are, as Zeth Holly makes his way past him, and Kevin Delia and Chris Muth are now going to have to figure out a way to get around that 22. But I mean, right now this is kind of where all the racing is at. The everybody else is all pretty spread out here, and we kind of see that typically whenever we see green flag pit stops.
That's true. And Zeth in the 48 looks like he's having a little connection issue.
Ooh.
Thornton just tagged the wall, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. The 22 getting
Like
hard
we
up
did.
into that outside wall.
It is so easy to do on this track. Kind of why I hate running the high line, because I do it all the time.
Yeah, the riding the wall is tough. But I mean, just driving these things, this long, you're kind of probably a little fatigued looking at your screen or your VR headset or whatever. It's a long race, man. You've been running a lot of green flag laps, so it puts some mental wear on you.
The older guys probably have to dig a pee break. I mean, it happens a lot.
Oh yeah, you have no choice.
And so,
Looks like Thornton's coming down.
he might have a little bit too much damage there, and he wants to make sure he can finish this race off strong, as the 3 of Muth finds his way around the 43. I'm just kind of looking up schedules here for the rest of the week, and tomorrow night we got an interesting one from the HCK Beagles Racing League. They're gonna be at Rockingham tomorrow night.
Ooh, fun track.
Yeah, and those trucks, it's going to be a fun night, and that's going to be their last race before Christmas. They will then have pretty much a month off, and we won't see those guys back in action until January 10th. So having a good time off there, and those guys are really going to want to finish off the this year and heading on into that Christmas break strong.
Yeah, that's a nice long break. I don't know if I need that much time off. I might lose my edge.
It's the 663 of Ryan Pandisio starting to catch on up here to that 15 of Vince Short, chasing him on down with 16 laps left to go here. And he's coming up with a pretty good head of steam, looking down low, trying to make that pass happen here between turns 3 and 4. And it looks like he will. The bumpers just do clear. So Ryan Pandisio up to where we normally see him onto a podium spot.
Now, since I'm like the part-timer here, where are these guys racing next week?
Oh, we're Daytona Road Course next week here.
Ooh,
That's why I said
fun
we may
pod.
have to bring you back for that one. That's definitely something I know nothing about, like zero.
Wow, that's a fun track. I gotta get started on preparation for the 24 hours of Daytona at that track.
You're doing that?
Yeah, it's just a little over a month away.
So
Like a
you
month
do
and a
the
half.
you like the whole 24 hours?
Not by myself, no.
Well, no, I know, but you.
Yeah, there's like 4 people, and yeah, you just split it up and do the whole 24 hours.
Oh my dang! Seems rough.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, actually.
As you got
Alan, we've done a few of those.
Oh, we've done a few. The 48 of Zeth Holly's starting to catch on up here to that 15 event short, 13 laps to go now, and trying to get around him and squeeze on up into fourth. Vince just trying to hold on to a top 5 finish here, as looks like the 40. Oof, man, the 48's starting to have a little blinky blink action there, but safely gets around. Looks like Mark Collins coming on. He ended up parking it and then jumping into his pit box there.
Well, Buckley agrees with y'all. They had a blast. Did it Spa this year? Spa.
Yeah,
whatever
Spa
that
was
is.
fun.
I don't understand. Where is Spa? Which one is
Belgium.
that? Belgium?
Yeah, that's Belgium, yeah.
Oh.
It's that one that has that weird like S turn going up the sharp hill. We saw, I think it was an F2 driver die a year or two ago.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that's 2 years ago.
I don't really want to see death and mayhem like that. I just want to see fighting.
Well,
Well,
you
that's why
won't
we
see
do it virtually. You're not going to die this way.
That's true. Good point. It's not that scary.
I'm gonna say then you don't want to see Belgium. They really don't fight over there.
That's a shame.
You got waffles and chocolate.
Keeps them tame, huh? That's how they get controlled, kind of like when they do to us with this mask thing. They just control us and put it on our face and muzzle us. Is that what they do over there with waffles? I'd rather have the waffles.
I would too.
I want the chocolate.
Yeah, both.
I
It's a
want the
good combo.
waffles.
Both of them. Good combo.
Got a couple of battles here within the final 10 laps. Derek Welch trying to get back around the 33 of Paul Ferdiani, sneaking his way up into this top 10 there. So DW trying to make a comeback. Ryan Pandisio facing some heavy challenge here from that 48 of Zeth Holly, trying to stay on to that podium spot. We need to go back and look at all the races that Pandisio has been a part of here in the Cup Series, and we'll throw out any of the the super speedway races or anything like that, and just kind of see where Pandisio kind of ends up. And I'm willing to bet he's probably got a podium percentage of probably around like 75 or 80%. Just so consistent out there, trying to hold off that charging 48 of Zeth Holly here.
Can't really complain about that.
No.
Well, you ain't first, you're last. That's what somebody said, but I don't believe it to be true. You get a top 3, top 5 in these races, you're doing pretty well, in my opinion.
So it goes side by side here between that 48 and that 663, continuing to charge. Looks like just on that bottom side, though, the 48 not quite able to make the run stick. The 663 doing a pretty good job about not trying to overextend his corner there and preventing the 48 from getting a run. But the 48 now looking maybe trying to make a move up the outside, and the 663 goes and blocks that one.
Yeah, some kind words out there. Albert Anderson, great job in the booth tonight, guys. That's nice of you.
Yeah, appreciate that.
We're having fun. I know that. Big Dog Gaming says, don't forget to hit the like button. Also, a big thank you, Big Dog Gaming. Yeah, hit the like button. We got to have this Zuckerberg guy trained. We got to train him. He's got to be our puppet. We're not his. So hit the button.
He's got to be careful. Elon Musk going to take over Facebook and YouTube and all that too. He's already taken over Twitter.
Well, you can only have so much power. I mean, the Zuckerberg guy's not going to give up all his power. It's just kind of how this thing's working.
Well, it'll be a hostile takeover. There'd be some fighting there. You'd love it.
Now, I would like that. A fighting over a whole social media company. I'd get the popcorn.
Man, talk about a chess match here between that 663 and the 48. It doesn't seem like the 48 has quite the tires to get the pass. He has the tires to stay up there with Ryan, but oh man, just passing is a whole other ball game, and they're looking down low, looking up high, and all this fighting, man, it's getting intense as we got 5 laps left to go. Joe Hoggard out in front with the 27 of Gavin Ray there in second. As the 663 gets a little loose going down onto that apron line here, coming back down the start finish, and this one's gonna be a heater.
It's been a lot of fun watching these two guys race. They're putting on quite a show.
And not only that, but while they're having a battle between themselves, they've been chasing down on that 27. That gap's fallen about 3/10, almost 4/10 a lap here, catching on up and trying as here he comes, the 48 of Zeth Holly looking down low, gets the run on Ryan Pandicio and makes the pass happen here. So now he's trying to chase down that 27 of Gavin Ray and maybe try to pick up an extra spot with some 3 laps left to go here.
Well, they're not done yet.
Oh, Pandicio just put the bumper to the 48.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
48 able to keep control of it, and I got a feeling he's really liking that high side for the run that's coming off the corner there, and is able to hang on as he's starting to have some connection issues. Gosh, that would be a terrible time to have something happen here as Joe Hoggard makes his way down into turns 3 and 4, trying to come his way back across that checkered line and go for it one final time here. Final lap now underway here at Kansas. No more cautions. No matter what happens here, this will finish on this lap as the 64 sends it on down and around, kind of tucked up behind some lap traffic there of Paul Ferdiani down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4, looking as smooth as butter and on rails as a freight train. He sends it on down and around, exiting turn number 4, and starts this playoffs off strong with a win here at Kansas tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look back at what's going on, as it looks like Gavin Ray was able to hang on, and so was Zeth Holly, finishing up there on that podium.
That was a really good finish there. That was a lot of fun to watch.
As the fireworks explode. Yeah, there was a little battle with Pandicio and Holly there. That was fun.
Did someone tell want to get down there and tell the 64 that the race is over and he won, because he's still running racing laps out there.
You might, maybe he's in shock. He's just going to keep going and going. Forrest Gump did. Just keep running.
We just had to make sure it was really over, you know. Didn't want to take any chances of being a lap short.
Oh yeah. Oh, those fake checker flags will really get you.
Yeah, you got to watch those.
He makes his way back to the start finish line. They're gonna do their little photo here, and while they're doing that, we do have an announcement here, which is who's the next name we're gonna get to throw up on that that list for the fans of the race here, Turner. And I think we're probably gonna be in agreement on this one.
Does it start with a J?
I believe it does start with a J.
And then his last name with a B.
Yeah.
Buckley? John?
Well, he's already on the list.
Oh, I didn't know that. So it's Joe Bennett.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. See, I knew I was going to win either way. I don't have the list in front of me. So, John, you're on. Joe, you're in. You're both in. Good luck to both of you in the Fan of the Race for the year drawing. I'll send that to where it needs to be sent. Joe Bennett, you have been put into the drawing.
Ever? And this is Kansas.
Kansas. It is a really nice place.
This is good. I'm just looking at the list that English has all typed up, and he's adding the race and that stuff at the end of the names and all that stuff. So trying to keep it roughly the same.
Yeah, he's pretty fancy like that. Big Dog Game. It says great race. Man, great racing. You guys, big shout out to the guys in the booth. You guys are amazing. Oh, that's nice. Man, everybody's so happy.
Oh.
That's
I'm just trying not to sound too dumb when I'm up here. That's
Oh, you can't
my whole
sound
thing.
any dumber than fucking. I mean, English. I'm sorry, I dropped a bad word there. English and I. I'm having a lot of.
Oh, I
problems.
can. I can.
no,
I can
you
even
can't.
do it in a stupider voice, but I mean,
No, you can't.
I try not to.
You can't sound worse than us.
I don't know. That sounds like a challenge for next week.
Okay, let's do it.
Indeed. So let's go ahead and get these interviews started off strong with tonight's third place finisher. We've talked to him once already, and it's a guy who's probably happy he's able to take that VR headset off. I'm sure you're getting a little hot under the lid there. It's going to be the 48 of Mr. Zeth Hawley, up 7 spots on the night to finish here in third, getting a good start to your playoff run here, Zeth. And you had a great battle there at the end with Ryan, and it just seemed to just finding that right run, and it was a chess match between you two.
Oh yeah, he was giving me everything he had. I think those 2-lap pressure tires really saved me on that run there. But yeah, I knew where I could beat him at. I knew where I was faster with my high arc in and low run out. It's just catching everybody is what made that happen.
Well, you did a great job. A tough night tonight out there. How much wear and tear is it? Just those long green flag runs. What does it feel like just to be done with the thing? You know,
Like it's nice taking the headset off, but at the same time, like I'm used to being in the headset for up to 8 hours because I do flight sim every once in a while, and I can be in that for pretty much all day if I needed to.
wow.
But yeah, it's good to take it off when you're starting to get sweaty and you got sweat dripping down into your headset.
Well, more power to you for VR. I can't do it myself. What are your thoughts on Daytona Road Course next week? Looking forward to that one?
Oh yeah, it's a road course. I love road courses in these cars. Anything NASCAR when it comes to road course, it's right up my alley. Like Watkins Glen's one of my favorites. Road course I haven't ran in the next gens yet, but I ran in Xfinity. So I have a general idea how that track's going to run. I just got to get used to it in the next gens right now.
Awesome, man. Well, heck of a job done out there, finishing up there on the podium. Before we let you go, you got any shout outs or anything like that?
Yeah, I'll shout my teammates Joe Robert and he's gonna kill me for that. Joe Robert, Joe Bennett, Paul Ferdiani, and Rob. He can't be here tonight, but I'm sure he's analyzing our race data and probably watching the streams afterwards. But yeah, it's great. Great been racing it with these guys. I'm happy 3 of us are in the playoff picture. I want to shout out NTR for putting on this league. It's been a blast ever since I came in here last year, and then a shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast. You guys do a great job.
Awesome. Well, thanks, man, and good job out there. Third place finish for that 48 of Zeth Hawley, and I know you're looking forward to next week, and so are we. So good luck coming up here at Daytona.
Thanks, guys.
He's still chuckling there about messing up some names down there.
I do it all the time.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
worry.
As we move up this podium to second place finisher here tonight, and your hard charger of the day, The Great American Flag 27. Gavin Ray up 13 spots here tonight. Gavin, that was a heck of a run that you had to A, fight through this field, and B, finishing up here on this podium. You must be feeling pretty good about tonight's run.
Yeah, it was overall a really good run. I got a little mistiming there with the first caution in the pit stop, but I was able to battle back. I worked myself into some fresher tires than the rest of the field, so I worked my way back through it, got towards the front, and just try to maintain that the rest of the run.
Well, you had some fans out there, so I'm sure you'll want to thank them. You battled that wall a little bit tonight, looked like, but you're up 13 spots. Nice second place finish. Got to be proud of that. Daytona road course next week. What about that one?
I'm feeling good about Daytona. I've got a lot of experience around road courses, so I think my highest finish up until now was at Watkins Glen this season. So just kind of try to repeat that at Daytona. Wish I could have gotten a finish like this a little bit earlier in the year so I could have worked my way into the playoffs, but we'll still take it nonetheless.
Well, congrats on second place. And I just got to ask you, what's your favorite road course?
I'd probably say the Glen.
Everybody says the Glen. Glen's a great course. I love it.
It is.
But
I go Road America first, though.
Road America is pretty fun. Yeah, that one. I don't necessarily like it too much in the NASCARs. They're just a little too heavy for it. But driving that in like a GT3 car or something like that, super fun.
That it most definitely is. But the 27 of Gavin Ray with a great finish here tonight in second place. Gavin, before we let you go, you got any shout outs or anything like that?
Of course, I got to shout out the consistent fan of the race over there, John Buckley. He's always there rooting for me and cheering me on. And then, of course, got to thank you guys for putting on such a great show. It's really good broadcast, really fun to go back through and watch it at the end of the race. And then, obviously, Numthungs Racing for putting this on. It's been an absolute blast. This is my first year joining, and I'll absolutely be back next year.
Awesome, man. Well, we look forward to it, and good job here tonight finishing up there on that podium, and we can't wait to see what you can pull out of that next week at that Daytona road course.
Thank you, guys.
As we move on up to our final interview of the evening, it's gonna be the 64 of Joe Hoggard getting his playoff run started off very strong here tonight with a big win. And Joe, that was by the end of it, it didn't look like you had to fight very hard, but I know you're gonna say something different because you were stuck in some traffic there until that final round of pit stops.
That might have been the hardest race that we've raced this season for me. I'm drained. Like I really am. I know it was a big gap at the end. But I mean, honestly, anybody who watches knows that if Juan doesn't get that penalty, I'm chasing Juan, not the other way around. I think the two of us were clearly the fastest on the long run with Gavin Ray not too far off, but as a whole, like, I'm thankful to get out of it with a win, but I'm not naive to say that I didn't have to have help with that penalty. And I mean, even looking at tire saving, I pride myself on being good at saving tires, but I don't know what Juan's doing. He came all the way through the field and still had better tires than I did, and I was saving the entire first run. So I was going to be on the back foot unless something happened. So, I mean, lucky me, but if the rest of the playoffs go like this, it's going to be a dogfight because that was not an easy race at all.
Well, you made it look easy out there. What a run! And I'm kind of exhausted watching y'all because there was so much racing, green flag racing. Really, so you didn't really have any time to relax.
No, and the main reason that I think that I was able to come out on top, aside from the Juan's penalty, is the short pit. When me, Gavin, and I think Vincent pit, I knew in the long run I had the car to beat. In a short run, they were both faster than me, but I knew if I could just keep myself out in front of them in the long run, that it was going to be a challenge for them to catch me, which is, I mean, ultimately paid off for me. But the call of the race, if you will, was me coming in as early as I did.
So are you going to be able to repeat this next week at Daytona?
It's Daytona Road Course, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
Well, I would say that it's not unlikely, but I don't want to put my eggs before the hatch because I know Ryan is a damn good road course racer. If you guys remember from Watkins when me and him were battling it out from start to finish. I think that one could go either way depending on who's just better that day. And there are some newer faces from when we were at Watkins the first time, so who knows who else can run road courses strong that's in the league or in the field now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm confident that I'll get a good run out of it, but I don't want to count my chickens before the hatch.
Well, either way, you had a great run here tonight, picking up the race win at Kansas. Heck of a job out there, Joe. Before we let you go, got any shout outs or anything like that?
Dan from DEP Racing. It's good to have him back. He made this awesome paints team that I'm going to run throughout the playoffs. It's fantastic to have him back through everything that he's gone through. Yellow Stripe Motorsports, obviously, again, because they're the team that I run with on a normal basis, and I wouldn't really be as good as I am now without their help. And then you guys and the people that run the league. It wouldn't be possible without any of you.
Awesome, man. Well, good job here tonight. Go enjoy this victory. You're starting these playoffs on a fantastic note, and we look forward to seeing what you guys can do next week at Daytona.
Very much.
All right. So with that brings Kansas here to a close. Thank you, Greg, for jumping on up here into the booth and enjoying this very pleasant race here this evening. I know, Turner, you didn't get to see too many of your fights or nothing. I know a couple people had some fights with the wall, but typically the wall kind of wins those ones.
Yeah, it was good enough. It was a good race. Wall fights are better than no fights. So I had some fun. Yeah, and had fun with Greg. Thanks, Greg, for showing up. We definitely probably might need you. We'll talk about it, but I think we're going to need you next week. I don't know anything about turning right.
Well, usually with the racing you do, if you turn right, you're in trouble. But no, I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate the invite to come up here. I always have a good time broadcasting with you guys, and it's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it. And we'll see what next week brings.
And that indeed. So let's finish off this week's race here as we go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver finished up on the evening. Joe Hoggard picking up that race win. Gavin Ray in the 27, up 13 spots. Your hard charger of the day, finishing there in second. The 48 is Seth Hawley, having a great run there as well, finishing it off in third. But he had to battle those last few laps against that 663 of Ryan Pandicio, and he was able. Ryan still had a pretty good job there in fourth. The 15 of Vince Short had a solid run for a top 5 here this evening, with the 3 Chris Muth Jr. as well, up a couple spots to finish in sixth. Seventh, we got the 43 of Kevin Delia. The 43 Kevin Delia in seventh there, with the 67 of Cubby Nathan Stanley finishing there in eighth. Ninth, we got the 1 of DW Derek Welsh finishing there in ninth, and the 2 of Juan Jimenez with that late penalty, heartbreaker for Juan as he finishes here in 10th.
Greg, go ahead and take it.
Oh, you're going to let me screw up the names. All right.
Yeah, I want you to.
All right, Paul Ferdiani is going to be the 11th place driver. Joseph Bennett is going to be in 12th in double zero. Dana Shepard, the 44, finishes 13th. Mark Collins in the 23 car is 14th. Eric Thornton in 15th in the 22 car. Thomas Welch, he had some issues, finished up early, ends up in the 16th spot with number 9. And looks like Tom Barish in the 17th.
And there we go. That is your field here tonight. As we close things down from Kansas, we got to thank you all for tuning in and watching, and be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so that way you get alerted every single time that we go live, because you don't want to miss a single second of the great race in action as we have it going on 5 nights a week over here. So be on the lookout for that one, and as well, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button so that way Mark Zuckerberg and the YouTube algorithm know to share it amongst more and more people, and we can continue to grow this great community. As well as big thank yous over there to JP Designs and 3D Prints. Be sure to get in contact with him, as they do a great job for iRacing paint schemes as well as some 3D printing in button boxes. ButtKicker, enhance your sim experience with a rumble under your seat, and get yourself a ButtKicker unit here today. Big thank you to AdminBoxx as well for the admin solution of button boxes here in iRacing. Be sure to go give them some notice and some love, as well as, of course, big thank you to tonight's race sponsor of Davidson Builders up there in that northern New Jersey area. If you're looking to remodel or maybe put an extension on the house or do something like that, be sure to head on over and check Davidson Builders on out. Of course, as well, some fantastic other sponsors like SimGearCentral.com as well. Go get a button box that has all the flip styles, levers, knobs, turn things, anything you can think of, all at the reach of your fingers for any sim experience, whether that's farm sim, truck sim, iRacing sim, the Sims, whatever you can think of. Be sure to mention that AAA and NTRL sent you on over there to pick up a button box here this evening, as well as TrekDogsRacing.com, the premier merchandising supplier for the NTRL. And a thank you to Track Bar Media, the ones that created that fantastic promo and intro video that we see race in and race out here for the NTRL. And they do a fantastic job doing real life as well as iRacing life photography and videography edits there, and do such a fantastic job with it. So be sure to go and check out Track Bar Media. So with that, tomorrow night it is Rockingham, 140 laps there in those trucks for the HCK Beagles Racing League, and they're entering into their championship playoffs as well. So be on the lookout for that one. But until then, for Greg Klein and Mr. Adam Turner, I'm Alan Brown, and we are signing off.
See ya.
Bye.